Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this KINGKONG LDARC TiNY GT7 2019 version 2 2S racing drone. Now this is a binder fly version, so you can get it with a DSM-2 receiver or a Fly Sky or an FR Sky, which I've got, and also without a receiver. Comes in this very nice tough looking box, even with a carry handle. We slide to open it. This is the new 2019 version 2 TiNY GT7 on a 75mm frame, and its predecessor was renowned for being almost indestructible, and this one's been strengthened even further. These ducts are very strong, and this really feels solid with a slight bit of flexibility. Very strong struts, even got aluminium screws on to secure the motors, and also over here and on the prop heads, and even this canopy on top is very strong. Comes with these new upgraded GT 1102 12,800 kV brushless motors with these 1513 3-blade screw-on props. This has the FPV Racing F3 FC flight controller. So not an F4 surprisingly, but you know, nothing wrong with the F3. We've got 10 amp 4-in-1 BL Heli S ESCs, and this also comes with an upgraded Q25 OSD VTX, which is basically a 25 milliwatt 32 channel with smart OSD version 2, and also an upgraded camera, which is an OV231 800 TVL camera with a 150-degree field of view, and the view angle's been increased to 20 degrees. The FR Sky receiver is a D16 receiver, non-EU, so a FCC receiver, and this only takes 2-cell batteries and comes with the 7.4 volt 380 mAh 50C battery, and what is really great to see as well is that it comes with this cable. So this actually has a balance plug on. You just need to plug this in, and then you can plug it into a hobby grade charger using the balance plug, and also power it with this JST connection. But when you put it onto the quad, you just connect the balance plug. So this limits one a bit in terms of batteries, but if you've got batteries with a JST connection, you can still use this cable too, to also use batteries with a JST connection. Also in the box, we get the bag, we get more than 4 spare propellers by the looks of things. Yes, we get 2 sets, so 8 spare propellers, which is very good. We get spare aluminium screws. We get the frequency table. Get a USB to micro USB cable to connect to Betaflight. We get some stickers and decals. Instructions for connecting the FR Sky receiver, and also a manual giving instructions on how to bind. And some Betaflight settings. Configuration, FC and ESC diagrams. VTX and camera. So quite a lot of detail too. Let me get this all out of the way. And if we just have a closer look, in the front here, here's the USB port to connect to Betaflight. So in a very good position and quite well protected too. On the top here, we've got a button to change VTX bands and channels. Our 5.8 GHz antenna in a good position. It can be still fairly upright and fairly well protected. Easy access to the receiver and also to the bind button, which is this little gold section on the receiver over here. And to take the canopy off, 1, 2, 3 screws over here. So now I'm going to just set up the radio controller and bind it to the radio controller. Okay, so I've got the radio controller set up ready to bind. I've got this on D16 and there's bind. I just need to press down and hold the bind button on the receiver here. Connect power. See a flashing green light. Release. Now it's flashing slower. Click on bind. Choose channel 16, telemetry on. Bind. The receiver light's gone red. And stop the process. Gone green. Disconnect the battery. Connect the battery again. And I've got a solid green light and this is it bound. And now I've got to connect it up to Betaflight. So the first thing to do is go back up your settings in case you have any problem at a later stage. So you can click back up here and this will store a file, and you can also back up the CLI and just choose a location. So I put it in a default folder for now, and then after I make changes I'll back it up again with my own settings here. If you're not sure how to do this, just do a search for backing up CLI and you'll find a lot of information on how to do it. And you can always restore using this restore tab too at a later stage. So the first thing we always have a look at is ports. You can see on UART1 is enabled, and on UART2 we've got serial RX enabled for this Free Sky receiver, which is good. Look at configuration, we've got Quad X. ESC's on DShot 600. We've got motor stop switched off. So this is good. It'll spin up the motors when it starts up. Got motor idle throttle at 4.5. No trims there. Accelerometer enabled here. No craft name. Okay, got serial base receiver, spec select enabled, which is good, and S-Bus. Okay, we've got in-flight enabled LED strip, because this has got an LED, and air mode enabled, and anti-gravity enabled, and dynamic filter. I'm just going to click on save and reboot. Now if we have a look at power and battery, we've got minimum cell voltage 3.3. I prefer to have it a bit lower, so I'm going to put it at 3.1. Maximum 4.3, and I'm going to reduce warning cell voltage down to 3.3, because sometimes if you have a burst, you start getting warnings, which can be quite irritating and distracting during a flight. We look at the PIDs. These are the default PID settings, and we're going to leave it at the defaults and see how it goes. Receiver. Now I'm on mode 2, fly mode 2, so I need this TAER, so 2 spectrum. Then I'm on TAER 1, 2, 3, 4, and let me just save. And if I just check my controls, yes, this is throttle, got yaw on the right stick, pitch and roll, and we can see this movement on auxiliary 12, which will be the RSSI. So I'm just going to put RSSI on auxiliary 12 there and save. There. Okay, if we go to modes now, okay, so if I select auto and I choose my arm switch, it's on auxiliary 1, so it'll be armed when it's in position 2. That's correct. My mode switch here, let me also just put to auto. This is the right switch. Okay, so we'll put it in angle here. Then I want to have horizon, so if I also put this on auto and I flick to horizon here, I'll put horizon in the middle. And beeper, I'm not quite sure if we've got a beeper, but I have got a beeper switch enabled, so let me just enable that too. Here, and that'll only be enabled on position there. And yeah, we've also got flip over after crash. Let me just double check my switch here. Yeah, this is my switch for flip over after crash on auxiliary 3. And we don't see acro mode, and I also don't see air mode enabled. So I think if we just leave it in angle, and this goes into the top position, then it will be in acro mode here. Just going to save this while we're here. Okay, we go to LED strip. We can see we've got LED, and this is a setting for the LED strip. Okay, what I don't see here is OSD. So I think with OSD, we can't change it in Betaflight because this has got smart OSD version 2, which we'll have to do directly on the radio controller. And then if we just go to CLR here and type in dump, and I'm going to just copy this while I'm here to back up my change settings. If we have a look at the top here, we can see our target is FPV Racing F3, SRF3, and this is Betaflight 3.4 4.1, dated August the 2nd, 2018. So these are the settings in Betaflight. So to access settings on this doesn't have smart audio. This has smart OSD. So to access the menu, before you power it up, let me just get ready to put in here. Gotta hold down the button on top and power it up and just keep it held in. And then the menu comes up. So you can navigate through the menu by giving a short press on the button. I'm not going to do it now because I've already found that this button, if you start pressing it, it actually slips off of the button on the inside here, which is not a problem. You can take something non-conductive like wood or plastic and press the button itself. But basically you give a short press and it'll go and navigate through these menus. Then if you want to select any particular one, and you'll see now it also times out after a while. So let me just get it up again. Get this up there, hooked in case it starts. So here's the timer. It tells you how long it's going to time out. But basically you want to select one of these. Then you give it a long press to enter into it. So at the top here we've got 2-cell, 3-cell or 4-cell battery, although this is only for a 4-cell. This is timing down, so I'm going to press the button and you can see this moves down here. And this is for setting alarm voltages, and then if you long press on this one at the back, it'll take you back to the main menu here. Third one is for camera mode settings. Fourth one is for time display. This one here is to choose your frequencies, and basically if we go down to this one, we've got F1 and F2, so there's new frequencies. It's not your normal frequency table. The bands and frequencies are different, so you will need to refer to this table. And here's a picture of the frequencies, and the ones that are underlined in red, you've got to check and make sure that they are allowed in the country that you are in. So this is something different. And obviously you go down here, you can change the name, craft name if you want over here. There, so you really just need to understand this. I'm just going to let it time out. And then if you want to change frequencies, it's different. You power it on first and then you hold the button down. You'll see the light will change color, and then you can just give a short press to go through the frequencies. So basically, you know, if you've got a preferred frequency, just like I've got here, F1, which is 5,800 megahertz, which is actually Fat Shark 4, but on this it's F1. Then you just keep pressing the button until you see it come up on your FPV screen or on your goggle screen. And if you want to do a factory reset, you actually, once it's powered on, you press and hold the button down for 30 seconds. I don't know, I'm quite used to smart audio. I'm not so sure if this is smarter. Anyway, this is how it works, and this is how you navigate and change settings on this new Tiny GT7. So now let's go and see how this performs. Alright, let's just do an outdoor flight while I've got a break in the weather and see how this goes. We've got about a 7 mile per hour wind. Right, let's give it a bash and see how it goes outdoors. Right, nice, stable and steady here. Right, let's have a look. Good. Not a bad punch up. Just get some camera views there while it's up there. Okay. Moves nicely. Quite a pitch on it. Sounds good. Let's take them back. Let's see how much time we can get off of this battery. Like the LED lights on the back. You can see here. The back here. See? Really impressed with this. Maneuvers very nicely, responds very nicely. Camera looks good on the FPV screen here. Really nice, going well. Fix it again. Really going to be fun indoors on a racetrack too. I really like the way this responds. Still doing well on the battery. Still no low battery warning, going well. Okay, got low battery warning now. Let me bring it in. It really performs well outdoors. 4 minutes flying time on the battery, which is good. FPV camera looks fine, nice angle, and I'll do a test of this on an indoor racetrack and post this in a separate video. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.